Good afternoon, it's Vanessa Baker here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from Waiuku, and I'm just going to refresh my page and make sure I am live. It'll take a second. Okay, good, looks like it's all working. Thank you for joining me today. Whether you're joining live or watching the replay, I really appreciate you taking the time. There's a few things happening this month at Stampin' Up. There's 25% off if you decide to start a paper pumpkin subscription this month. You get 25% off that first kit if you're a first-time subscriber. So that brings it down to $42, which is a fantastic amount for what you get. So you'd get a kit with 9 cards, and they come with a stamp set and a Stampin' Spot. So ink, stamps, and 9 cards for $42. It's pretty good. After that, it'll be $56 to keep on going. But it's such a great thing to get a surprise kit in the mail every month. I just love them. Really easy just to carve out some time to make some cards when they're already designed and pre-cut for you. Then if you love Halloween, there's a new kit which has just come out called Witchy Whimsy, and it's a hat, a witch's hat. So I know that some people are really into that holiday, so that's something you can go and have a look at. Also, at the moment, there's a paper sale which just started yesterday. So there's 15% off selected cardstock, two-tone cardstock, and DSP. So that's worth taking a look to stock up on anything you need there. And also the last chance list, while you're online, the last chance list has been updated as well. So loads of news. Now I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll get started on today's project. So for this one, I'm actually making a card for my nephew for his birthday. I didn't have anything in my stash. So, and he's a bit of a traveller, a bit of a photographer, and also his job is sort of nature related. So, I wanted to use again this beautiful camera from the Capturing Smiles stamp set, which is really cool. And so I'm using the stamps and the dies from Capturing Smiles, and then the dies from Fern and Flora, and the paper is Moonlit Flora. Moonlit? Yes, Moonlit Flora. So to start off with, I'm going to emboss, and I'm embossing in silver on black cardstock for the camera. So I'll just rub my buddy over these two pieces here and my stamps here. So when the stamp is larger than the ink pad, I leave the stamp down on the table and just take the ink to it. It makes it easier to make sure you've got it covered. And then I'll just stamp that one down. And I'm going to quickly get the powder on there. Like I say, I'm using silver on the black, which is quite a striking look. A few extra bits on there. Can't have used my buddy properly. So when you've got stray bits that you don't want to heat emboss, you can, I find just blowing on it first of all can take a bit of it off, but then you can use the putty end of take your pick tool and just remove and actually get quite close to the lines. I find it's more accurate than a paintbrush. And just get rid of those bits. That in the middle there won't actually matter because I've got another piece going over the top. So I think that will be fine. Then I'll do this one little, it's kind of like a tag, but it goes over the front as an extra layer on your camera. Okay, that one was quite good. Yep, very good. Okay, so then I would go ahead and heat those. I have actually already got some here that I prepared earlier. So I've already got those two pieces. Just going to set these aside so they don't get damaged though, because I will heat them later and use them. Excuse me. So like I said, this sort of tag one goes on over the top there to create some of the layers of the camera. It's quite cool. And then I've already cut as well these two other pieces for the camera lens. The silver one's going to go over top of that one, and I've got a little scene I'm going to stamp. Do that now. Actually, I'll just get those dies over here. So this is actually going to sit inside the lens as if I've taken a photo. And I haven't used these before, but they're really cool. So I'm just going to stamp that little scene. So because this is an outdoor nature-y focused one, I've gone with the sort of camping scene. There's also a beach scene and a city scene, as you'll see here. You've got the camping, the city, and the beach. And then there's a blank one. So you can use your imagination, or you put the little heart in there or something like that. Okay, let's just move these out of the way. So I'm going to colour this with blends. And so for the sky, I'm using balmy blue, light balmy blue. And I actually don't have to be too neat with the edges because you won't actually see the edges, but I like to do a nice job when I colour, so I will still try and stay within the edges. So I'm just using that bullet tip. I find it's the easiest with a small area. Okay, now the next one I was going to do, I think I'm going to do the hill in the background in Secret Sea, just the light version. This is a bit more tricky to get around the tent. And I'm just sort of going to stop it there. It doesn't actually have a line, but just make one. Right. Then for the trees here, I've got light mossy meadow. And the grass, I'm going to do, actually got dark old olive. I'm wondering if I should do that light old olive. Where was the one I played with earlier? Here. Yeah, actually I might swap that and do light old olive. Can always go over it if it doesn't look right, but I think it. And then the tent I'm doing in, dark golden glow. I did decide to do dark. The one I played with, I did it in the Secret Sea, and it just was too dark against the background. I think a little pop of something else is always nice. Okay, and then for that, there is a die, but I felt I wanted a little bit larger. So you're going to see it through this hole. It's going to go behind this black one. So I wanted to have a bit more of it to glue it to the this ring. So I found I just punched it with a 1 1/4 inch circle punch. It was just a quick way just to punch it out. And then it's ready to stick behind there and be my little scene inside my camera. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on now. So I think I'll just put the glue sort of near the inner circle. It's going to go. Should have got my glue going before I started. Oh, there we are. So I'm putting it on here because otherwise I'd be guessing as to where to put it on my scene. And then I want this little handly part here to be up on that side. I'll just hold it and pop that on like that. Right, so there's our little camping holiday photo, and we can go ahead now too and stick the silver one on. A few dots. And I'm going to stick this on too. That's sticking there, and I think I might put that one on dimensionals. I want this to line up with the one at the top. Oh, why does that look crooked? Just my eyes. Better. Yeah, I think I would put that on dimensionals. So I've got some black dimensionals here, and this is sort of the end of the pack, the sheet. So I've gone around and cut each one into between each one so that I can use them. So nothing is wasted off a sheet of dimensionals. Okay, so then our little scene here goes on. Like so. Cute. Yeah, I'm really pleased I decided to colour that tent in the golden glow. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so I've got a Secret Sea card base. Just give that a nice score down there. And I have 2 layers of the DSP. This is from the Moonlit Flora. They actually look, oh, it's actually the same piece. I'm using 2 sides of the same piece. And then those are going to go on at an angle. So in some ways I'm keeping this card sort of fairly simple. I'm not doing anything to the background, and I'm just putting these layers on an angle, but then I've got lots happening with sort of greenery. Oh gosh, that scared me. My punch just popped back up. Don't know if you heard that. Okay, so this one, I'm going to clean up that glue. I'm going to put at a different angle, and it's been cut slightly smaller, so you see some of the edge of the other one underneath. So pop that on, and I'm just going to grab a tissue. Just get rid of that. Strange noise made me drop my paper halfway through gluing it. Right. Okay. So my camera is going to go on here, and I'm going to have some greenery around it. So I've gone ahead and pre-cut a whole lot of greenery from the dies that go with the fern and flora. So I've got my little ferns and different leaves here in different colours. So now it's just a matter of placing those where I want them. So I've got a few to choose from, and I don't know if I'll do that many. I kind of like, especially for a mail card, it's quite nice to have it a bit less is more, I think. So my camera is going to go on dimensionals, and I'm not going to put them too close to the edge so that I can tuck my greenery underneath. Just go one there and then a little one there. Okay, so the camera is going to go on, actually I think I'll do the camera straight. Okay, because I've got those two angles happening already. And then I can just start placing these pieces and just decide how many layers I want. Oops, there's some bit there that hasn't come out. So this is soft sea foam, this lighter colour, which is the colour of the paper behind. And I can have it sort of, see how that sort of came over the camera. I can sort of position it like that. So I've got a couple that same colour, so I might just put one. I want them matchy. I'll probably put it under there. And then something like that, and maybe a little koru type fern one up there. And then I could do maybe the blue one. Try and mix it up a bit. So now I'm feeling that that's quite a lot happening. Let's take that one away and let's do, always good to do things in odd numbers. So I might actually just need, let's just put that one there, because I'm putting my sentiment will go down here. I'm wondering about just leaving it sort of like that, and maybe putting this two on each side, and then the blue on that side. So that's 5 things. Yeah, okay, I think I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and stick some of these down. Sometimes it's not until you've got an idea in your head, but it's not until you actually, oh, now I probably should have thought about chopping some of these off. But my words are going to cover the bottom of that. Just shorten this one a little bit. And I don't normally glue the top, but I think this one needs a little bit up there. Okay, good. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of that off just so we can tuck it under a bit further. And I like the way that comes down underneath as well as off to the left. Then got our same. How's that going to sit? Where's the dimensional? Yeah, probably just want to remove those leaves so I can tuck it. Yeah, that's better. I had great fun in the weekend. I went to a demonstrator event in Christchurch, and we had all day Saturday together, which was fantastic. There was also a little event on the Friday night for leaders, which I attended as well. So yeah, it was really good just to have a bit of a time away and with some stamping friends. There we go. And finally, I'm going to put this one, but I think I'll have even less of that one. Just a little bit. And because it's the darker colour, it kind of disappears a little bit against the paper. Just not on that angle there. Okay, so I've got these extra pieces that I can use on another project, which is always good. Unless I think I need some down here, but no, I think I'm going to leave it like that. Like I say, it's for a guy, so I generally think it's they're not as fussy. Too many things otherwise for a guy, I think. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. So the next thing is the words. So I've gone to my trusty happy birthday from Simply Said, which I think it may have actually retired, but it's one that I think I'll hang on to because I've got a little dot of something on there, which I'll just try and avoid with my stamping. It's such a great set for all kinds of sayings, so if you can't have it, I would hold on to it. So that was stamped in Secrecy on the Golden Glow. I didn't quite get it straight, but it's all right. And it's just going to sit down there on some dimensionals. And then this ties back with the colour of the tent. I hope my internet stays up this week. Last time it jolly well died right at the end of my live. But luckily I'd sort of said everything. I just didn't get to say goodbye. So sorry about that. Okay. Oh yeah, I love that. How it just brings it all together. That little pop of colour. Okay, so the next thing is to add some embellishments. Now I've got some Moody Palette glossy dots because these are a bit flatter, and although they're shiny, they're not glittery. So since it's for a guy, I'm keeping it sort of male orientated. So in this pack, so that's how they come. This is how many I've got left on this one sheet, so I was wanting to use them up. So I could use the white, which is going to pop because there's no other white on the card, or I could use the dark blue, which I'm kind of going to the dark blue, I think. And I've just realised I've only got one size here, but I'd really like to use these up. So just going to use all the same size. I don't want that. Be off the... Oh, come on. And then we'll put... There's no real sort of place jumping out at me, but I'll put one there. So I always do 3 or 5 in a triangle shape. So for the last one, I'll go up here. Yeah, that finishes it off nicely. So, pretty cool. Now I've got, oops, that's the top for my Take Your Pick tool. And the last thing I'm doing is the inside. And I thought I might play up a little bit more on the photography side by using this little stencil that I made for a previous project of the film. And I'm going to, as I did on that previous project, sponge through it to create a little film thing in the corner here. And I might actually just tape it down so that it doesn't move. So I've just got some washi tape and I'm just going to take some of the sticky off it, because otherwise it can stick to your paper and tear. So I actually want to stick it not on the paper, but just where it's off the paper. Which is a bit tricky actually. Let me just get that bit off. Okay, because I want the ink to go through all of those holes and give me an outline. And when you're doing this, because it's on white, I'm using soft sea foam ink, but you don't need to use very much. I want this to be quite subtle. Oops, I think it moved. I actually don't know that I've got much ink on this brush. Oops, it was moving around. Just going to put a bit there and then I'll pull it off before I finished. You can subtly see the green coming through there now. It might not come up on the camera, but I can see it with the naked eye. Just making sure I get into those holes. Or end the end. Don't want to leave the end floating. Same with the top. I want to get that little curve. Okay, so now that I'm holding it here, I'm going to peel that off. And just finish that. Fingers crossed that I now have, oh yeah, it worked. I've got a little dark blob there. Never mind. If it was perfect, they wouldn't think it was handmade, would they? They wouldn't believe you. Okay, so then I want Secret Sea ink. Or should I do one? Actually, what I might do is do the camera in, see how it comes out on Secret Sea. Soft sea foam. Let me just grab, what happened to that bit? Oh, the punched bit, here we are. Just want to do an experiment. So when I'm not sure what colour I want to use, I'll just do a little sponging on a scrap piece here. And then I'm just going to test how that comes out. And then I could also test it with my other colour, the darker one I was thinking about using. Just give that a wash and try it with Secret Sea. Yeah, I think Secret Sea is the one I want to use. So I'm going to put a little camera there. And I'm going to put the word photo op. You can go in that little hole there. Cute. So the colour scheme ties it to the front of the card along with the use of that camera, which is also on the front. So that will then go on the inside. Oops, get it centered. Like that. So, cute little card, combining the capturing smiles with the Moonlit Flora for a fun card for a nature-loving photographer. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and if you need any of the links, they should be in my email that comes out, or I'll try and remember to post them in a comment here for that paper pumpkin and the paper sale that's happening this month. Oh, the paper pumpkin you've got to do by the 10th of August. That's the cutoff for that one, by the way. Okay, I will sign off and see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.